Hey guys, it's me, Kiera, back with another YouTube video, but this one is not about braid locks, but it is about something that I feel like we can all relate to on this channel, okay? So today I'm gonna talk about when you should know whether you should confront or detach, all right? Confront or detach. I was just thinking about my childhood, right? And how I grew up. I'm gonna be quite honest, like I grew up in a household where people just spoke their minds. Like we're a little bit unhinged, just a little bit, not nothing too crazy. We were cool, but we were a little unhinged. I'm not gonna lie. But the great thing about my childhood, it was really just seeing that bluntness, that fierceness, that authenticity that the people around me had, right? Not saying that they were always correct, but one thing that I did notice in my household is that people pretty much spoke their minds. Besides what I saw in my household, I wasn't too acclimated into like different environments, right? And so there was like a bit of shelteredness there, but in a weird way where we were sheltered, but I still saw a lot and I learned a lot, especially as I went to school and things like that, right? One thing I remember being told is, Kiara, like you're too confrontational. Like not everything is that deep. You don't have to speak your mind all the time on these different things. Sometimes you just gotta let stuff go. You just gotta let it go. And I'm wondering how many of us have actually been told that, right? So a few years ago, I pretty much ran a social experiment on myself. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm a little weird like that, right? But I said, hey, the confrontational stuff hasn't worked. Like, I've realized that people just haven't grown up the way I've grown up. Like maybe they grew up in different families where you don't speak your mind, or when they tried to speak their mind, they were shunned or dismissed, right? And so I had to gain that understanding. I can count my close friends on one hand as of today, right? And I think that's okay, right? I have two best friends. They're great, right? But they're not in my city, right? So I've always tried to put myself out there to meet people in close proximity to me. So I ran a social experiment on myself. I had made some friends and some new acquaintances, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna just let things slide. I'm gonna just take the high road. I'm gonna just not speak anything, not say anything, and just, if it's not a big deal due to societal standards, what some people might not consider a big deal, not to say anything, maybe like a little weird comment here or there or whatever the case may be. I found that when I was moving in a more passive way, which is not true to my nature, by the way, but when I was moving more passive, trying to be more mature, trying to take the high road, I felt a lot of dissatisfaction like within me. And I'm talking like just an uneasiness. It's something that you feel rather than what you can understand by being told, right? It's just a feeling in your heart and your gut. Like, hey, this isn't right, right? So I was trying to practice emotional detachment, but I wasn't doing a good job with it. Despite, some people may say meditate, some people may say pray about it. But as I prayed and as I tried to sit in the silence of what I was feeling, I found that I was just growing even more and more uncomfortable with certain folks that I was practicing that detachment theory on. Essentially, what I learned from this social experiment is it's better just to confront, because I had let so many things fester and bottle up during this time where I was trying to be the bigger person and learn from the people that have told me in the past that you're too much, right? Or it's not that big of a deal. Like, so I'm trying to implement what I think are lessons, really, when it's just rejection, that's redirection. So as I implement these lessons in these new dynamics, it's almost as if I abandoned my true character and who I truly am. And so there was this dissatisfaction with the dynamics that I was building with these people. And there's a couple of different ways that I handle it with them. Like some people, I cut off cold turkey. Now with certain people, I decided to say, hey, I want to share something that's been on my heart for a while, right? And then as I shared this feedback, in a very tactful way, I journaled, I thought about the best way to word my feedback. This person immediately got defensive, yelled at me, and called me every name in the book that you can think of. And I said, wow, I am never not being confrontational again, because I would have loved to have seen that reaction early on and not waste multiple years of building a friendship with someone, right? Or building an acquaintanceship or whatever the case may be. So the sooner you speak your mind, the better. The sooner that you understand how people respond to how they hurt you, the better. And if you fear what may happen, then that is not a safe connection for you. Your feelings shape your reality, right? And sometimes your feelings can be wrong, but sometimes they can be right. And it's up to you to do the work to assess where you're at. My solution for anybody that's ever felt stuck, right? Should I say something? Should I not? My solution to you is give yourself 24 hours to process what happened. Write it out. During this time of processing, write out what you think happened, what occurred, what triggered you, and why, and how you're feeling about it. 24 hours after you do this assignment, reflect on this, like, hey, am I still feeling the same way? If you are, I highly recommend inviting that friend or new acquaintance or that person you're hoping to build a long-lasting friendship with to join you in an honest, heartfelt conversation. And really just come with grace, warmth, and empathy and honesty. With my 31 years of living, I will tell you, honesty is the best policy. And in order to attract what aligns, you have to be unapologetically authentic. Thank you all so much for listening. Thanks for spending this time with me. It's Kiera. Talk soon. Bye.